What's up everyone, it's Kelly and today I've got another swatch review for you. So today we are talking about the much anticipated Holo Taco One Coat Chrome collection. We've got 5 brand new nail polishes and they're all in this chrome finish. So if you haven't heard of Holo Taco before, they are a nail polish brand created by YouTuber Christine of Simply Nailogical, and all of the polishes are 5 free, meaning they are free of 5 of the potentially harmful ingredients that can be found in nail polish. They are vegan, meaning they do not use any animal-derived ingredients, and they're also cruelty-free, meaning they do not test their products on animals. So this One Coat Chrome, this is a new formula by the brand, and basically it's just this really reflective metallic finish, and they're also really quick drying, so there's definitely a little bit of a learning curve to this formula. I would say it's pretty much an intermediate formula, not as much beginner friendly. So before we dive into the swatches, I just want to give you a few things to keep in mind while I'm swatching them. The first one is just a tip that I learned as I was swatching them, so you'll see I got a little bit better as I went on, but you want to apply the polish in as few coats as possible. Since it is very quick drying, if you go back with your strokes, you're gonna start pulling down some of the polish as it dries on your nail, which you definitely don't want to happen, so you want to make sure you're doing as few strokes as possible. Now for this collection, they did use their wide flat brushes, so it's definitely easier to get it done in just a few strokes. Thing number 2 is about the finish. Now, top coat is going to potentially change the finish of these polishes. When you apply them, they kind of have this foil look, but as they dry, they start to have a more super reflective, almost mirror-like chrome shine. But once you apply your top coat, it's gonna go a little bit back towards that more foil look rather than the mirror-like look. So it's not a huge difference, but if you're looking for that really reflective chrome look, you might want to skip the top coat, but keep in mind if you're not using top coat with your manicure, it's not going to last as long. Now I have heard initial feedback from this collection is that it doesn't last very long in general just because of the finish. So again, just something to keep in mind. Thing number 3 is that this type of chrome formula is going to highlight any imperfections on your nails. So if you have any ridges, if you have any bumps, they are going to show up on the nail with that chrome finish even after top coat. I do have a relatively smooth nail, so it does look pretty smooth on me, but just in case anybody has a different type of nail, I don't want anybody to feel like I'm being disingenuous with my review, because if you do have any marks on your nail, it is going to show up. And then the last thing that I want to bring up is that they did release a new quick dry base for this collection, and if you buy the collection box, you do get the base with that, and that is what I'm using in the review, but I did test it out with a couple of other different bases, the Orly Bonder and the Cirque base, and it did apply the same over those. So again, just something to keep in mind, you don't necessarily need that, although the brand does recommend using their base. So yeah, with all that aside, let's dive into the swatches, then we'll talk a little bit more about pricing, availability, all that good stuff, so roll the footage. So as with all of my swatch and review videos, I am using base coat underneath all of my swatches just to protect my natural nail and prevent any stains. Today I'm using the Holo Taco Quick Dry Base. So starting off with the classic silver, this is called World's First, and it is your classic silver one coat chrome polish. So you can see at first stroke, it is so incredibly opaque. Now, this was my first time applying it, so around the cuticle area, I kind of went over it a little bit too much while it was drying. So there was a tiny bit of patchiness, but that was really just user error. Like I said, you want to work really quickly with this, and you also want to do as few brush strokes as possible so that you're not dragging the polish down with it. Now for all of my swatches, I am going to show you 2 coats just because I like the way that it feels to have a 2-coat manicure. Also because I think right after I apply it, before it dries down to that mirror-like finish, that's what it looks like with top coat on. So if you don't want to wear top coat, it'll have that more chrome mirror look. If you do want to wear top coat, it'll look more like how it does when it's wet. Next up we have the shade Trophy Life, which I love the name by the way, and this one is a really beautiful soft yellow gold, and again it has that one coat coverage. It was really impressive. In this one I wanted to work really quickly so that I did not get any pulling, so I thought it ended up looking a lot better that way, and it was pretty easy to use because they do have the wide flat brush in this bottle instead of their usual round skinny brush. It definitely made application go a lot quicker, and I was able to pretty much do every nail in 3 strokes. So down the middle, down the left, and then down the right. So here's what it looks like in 2 coats. I think it's absolutely stunning. I love a soft yellowy gold like this. Next up, we have the shade Pink Steel, and now we're getting into the colorful chromes, which I was really excited about because I love the color of these. This one is a beautiful, almost dusty rose chrome kind of color, and when it dries, it is just so stunning. I feel like there's a little bit of depth to it. There's a little bit of that like dusty, chromy look to it, but it's still very distinctly pink. And in the first coat, it did give me full opacity. In the second coat, I actually noticed that this one covered up some of my nail imperfections a little bit more even after it dried. So I was really pleased with that. I think it's just going to be a little bit of trial and error to see how much thickness I can get in as few strokes as possible to make sure that as little imperfections are showing as possible. Moving on, we have the shade Iron Violet, which is the one I was the most excited about, of course, because if you know me, you know I love purple nail polish, and I especially love a really cool toned one. And this one is so cool toned that I would say it kind of leans more in the blurple/indigo side because it definitely has that strong blue property to it, and it looked really beautiful in one coat. Again, I think I just pulled down a little bit too much around the cuticle area in the first coat, so with that second coat it was able to cover everything up fully. And then here's what it looked like dry with no top coat, and it is just so beautiful. I'm very tempted to wear these without top coat because I love that effect, but I know it's not going to last as long. And last but definitely not least, we have the shade Aquafoil, and oh my gosh, this one ended up being a surprise favorite. I thought that I was gonna like Iron Violet the best, but this one ended up being my absolute favorite. It is such a stunning aqua color. It has a lot of that green to it, it has a little bit of blue to it, and it just gave me that perfect opacity in one coat as usual. But I just love the way that these looked in two coats because I feel like it did cover up those imperfections a little bit better, and I feel like they could last a little bit longer with two coats and no top coat, so I'm definitely gonna try that. So here are all of the polishes together, and honestly, I was really impressed with them. I know at an extreme close-up in HD video, you can see a lot of little imperfections, but honestly, when you wear them on your nails, unless you're looking super closely, you're probably not going to notice any imperfections unless they're pretty big. So I really enjoyed that. I think that the colors here are absolutely gorgeous. I love this like futuristic chromy vibe. I love that they're actual colors instead of just like the gold, the silver, the bronze kind of colors. I really appreciate having the pink and the purple and the blue in there as well, and I just can see myself using them a lot for nail art. And I really appreciate that these are colors that you can really wear any time of year. They don't just have that springy color scheme, even though they feel very perfect for spring. I can really see myself wearing these anytime. So yeah, those are the polishes, and honestly, I really like them. I love the finish. I think that a chrome nail polish is super fun, and I appreciate the variety of colors that we get because they do feel very bright and springy. I have a feeling they're going to be really good for nail art because I'm always looking for super opaque polishes to use in nail art. My initial thought when I saw the preview of the collection was that they were going to be good for stamping, but I think they just dry a little bit too fast for that. But I am still definitely going to be using these for regular nail art because I think they're super gorgeous. And like I said, I think there's a little bit of a learning curve with the formula, but as I applied them more, I was getting the hang of it pretty easily, and I was able to apply it in very few strokes. So yeah, despite my disclaimers in the beginning of the video, I do think that they applied really nicely and I really enjoyed them. So all of these polishes come in their usual 12 milliliter bottles. Like I said, instead of the round skinny brush that Holo Taco usually does, we do have a wide flat brush that has a rounded tip. All of these polishes retail individually for $14 USD each, or you can get the full collection, which comes with the collector's box, the 5 nail polishes, and the base, and that retails for $82 USD. And as of the filming of this video, they are all still currently available on the website, so I will link that down below. But yeah, I'm curious to hear from you. Did you pick up this set? Have you tried it? What are your thoughts on the colors? What are your thoughts on the finishes? Leave it all in the comments. We can chat about it. If you enjoy my swatch and review videos, please give this one a thumbs up. It lets me know I'm doing a good job. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. I put out new videos every Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday. I also have a couple of other YouTube channels. I've got my vlog channel, which is a little bit more behind the scenes stuff, just my life outside of nail polish. And I do have a podcast that is not nail polish related at all. It's actually about movies, and I'm currently watching Star Wars for the first time and giving my thoughts on it. So if you're interested in that, I will link it up in the cards as well. And a huge shout out to my supporters on Patreon, my royal astronomer Amanda M, as well as my cosmic admirals Rocket Man's daughter, Paola, Ken, Rosie, and Courtney. I really appreciate your support, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye. Today's fun fact question comes from Patreon supporter Delane, and Delane wants to know, do you polish your toenails as often as you do your fingernails? I'm gonna be honest, I have not painted my toenails in over a year. I haven't left nail polish on them. I removed the nail polish from the last time that I painted my nails, but I used to paint my toenails so frequently. I think I would do it like every week in the summer and then maybe every other week other than that, but I have not done that in a really long time. I painted my toenails when I went on vacation in the beginning of 2022, and since then I have just not painted them, but maybe this summer I will get back into it. I don't know what it is about it that I like stopped doing it. I guess I just have been cold and I've been wearing socks a lot, so I haven't really felt a desire to paint my toenails. But in case anybody is curious, I do not match my toenails to my nails. I try to pick like a relatively neutral color for my toenails so that whatever I'm wearing or whatever my nail color is, it doesn't totally clash with it. I think that's probably why I don't do it as often anymore, just because like I could do neon green toes, but then what if my outfit and nails are a totally different color? I'm very into matching. I don't know. I'm actually curious how many of my followers paint their toenails as often as they paint their nails, so let me know in the comments. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye.